Morning, everyone. Just going to do another little blog, tell you what I've been up to, and probably go into a story of some sort. But um, so yeah, it's Sunday. It's 5:30, and I'm just having a cup of tea before I start my exercise. Been trying to work out what I'm actually going to do this morning when it comes to exercise, because my routine for that has gone completely out the window. Um, my exercise and fitness really kicked off a year ago. Um, a few years back, there'd been a school sports day at my daughter's school, and the parents were invited to do a sprint. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm a slight guy, I'm quite fit. I don't, at the time, didn't do any sort of fitness routine or regime at all. So I was like, yeah, this will be easy. I ended up coming in second from last, and without sounding too rude, there were dads that were a lot, let's just say, a lot bigger than me. Um, so I went to show I was like, okay, just because I'm a relatively skinny guy doesn't mean I'm fit, not in the slightest. And then it started to make me think more about sort of my health and my parents, my children and things like that. So yeah, so last year it was school sports day, and once again all the parents were called up, and my youngest daughter, she was like, Daddy, wants me to go up. And I feel real bad. It feels like, those films where the dad is away working and not there for his kids. It felt like that. I felt really shit. I felt like I sort of betrayed my daughter by not going up and doing the run. So I was like, I decided at that point, right, I need to get fit. So I knew that we had a set of dumbbells here, just small ones, just small little weights, still quite heavy. They were adjustable. And I went online and onto YouTube and found a YouTube video of this guy called Zeus Fitness. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to do this. So I started doing the weights early in the morning, and I got to be honest, I hated it. For the first few days, I hated it so much. And I'm not sure at what point it was. Suddenly I became addicted. I became really addicted to doing the weights, and I had this craving. I had to get up, do the weights, and then I started with protein shakes, and I started doing all of these things, and then I started running as well. So I was doing weights pretty much every day, and if I wasn't doing weights, I was going for a run, and I only had maybe one rest day a week. I was loving it. And I did this all the way through. So from about May time of last year, all the way through till about October. And then in October, I just hit some really bad bouts of illness and insomnia. So first of all, I hit a point where I think it was my anxiety. I had some things coming up which would have involved me doing a bit of sort of talking to large groups of people within my work, and I've managed to find ways of avoiding this because of the levels of anxiety. It also depends on the sort of group of people that I'm talking to. Will also, basically, if I get incredibly nervous, my anxiety goes through the roof. And if my anxiety goes through the roof, I'm fighting harder. And if I'm fighting harder, I'm getting less sleep, and I exhaust myself, burn myself out. And long story short, I ended up collapsing. So after that, it wasn't really a good time for me to carry on exercising, collapsing from exhaustion, from the anxiety. I was like, right, okay, I need to slow down a bit. Now, I did get back into it, and I started doing, I was doing weights exercise in the evening whilst my children were eating their dinner, and I was they were sitting here actually eating their dinner, and I was back there with a YouTube video doing weights and things. And it wasn't to get big or anything like that. It was just genuinely just to stay fit. I got a punch bag, and which I absolutely love. Punch bag is my favourite. And yeah, I ended up with an abscess in a place where I won't really go into too much detail. And off the back of that, I was on antibiotics, and there was no way I was doing exercise with this particular abscess. Then, not long after that, we'd been having such a tough week. I was exhausted. I was burnt out. We had so much stuff going on in the house, and I would cook dinner every night. So as a treat, my wife picked up a KFC. KFC was one of my absolute favourites. Had this KFC, and that night when I went to bed, it just sort of sat here, just didn't go anywhere. I could just feel it. It was just there. And I was very ill, without going into too much detail. I just did not stop coming back out with me. And once again, obviously, I couldn't exercise. Pattern started to break a little bit then, I wasn't exercising quite as much, and I was still sort of dipping in and enjoying it. I was jumping in at the weekend and things, and but it wasn't quite as addictive as it had been. It was back to the days where there was a bit of a struggle. It was a bit of a chore. And then coming up to Christmas there, I had a combination of terrible insomnia, like really bad insomnia. I was right at the end of my tether. I didn't know what was going on. Terrible insomnia. And then a virus, which I've mentioned before, was around the heyday of sort of coronavirus kicking off. But I probably didn't have coronavirus, but I did have the worst fever. I couldn't get out of bed. I was just ill, and I had this chest infection and weird mucus thing when my nose was blocked for about a month and a half. Then we hit Christmas. Then we come into this new year, and so I really want to get back to where I was. Since this situation's happened now with the COVID-19 and we're all at home, once again, my routine has gone out the window. I'm not getting anywhere near as much exercise because I'm not walking as much. So I'm quite, I don't know, feeling a bit sluggish. So, I think I'll finish my tea, and I think I might have got the punch bag. Bit of punch bag this morning, I reckon. Back to my tea.